I think we started, right? I think we started, right? So today we're gonna improve some of my UI mod tools. I think we started. This is mostly about modding, so I think I won't turn the game on. So today we're gonna improve some of my. I don't use this. So then you do a UI for mods. You usually use layout helpers, right? Oh my god, I hope there are no any sounds like my PC dying. Okay, never mind. So then you do some layouting, especially for controls. You always write this stuff. This is barely unreadable sometimes. So I'm gonna do this in a better way. Better for reading, and I'm gonna make a builder. This is a programming pattern, so there won't be nothing special. Let's call it the outer. Oh, and of course, extension. It's gonna be a lot of file. And I'm gonna copy paste something from link. Barely all. However, I don't need all. I need this stuff. And let's begin. So let's rename it. Let's call the outer meta table and index to itself. And global function that will create our wrapper around layout for or layout of. I don't know. Let's assume it is layout for control. And we need import layout helpers. Yeah, layout helpers, we're gonna use it. But why not? So each control has its own methods, and there are a lot of them. Set layouts, other overloadable stuff, and a lot of getters and setters. And some of them are, you can see here, for example, they're actually known. For example, enable, set text, for text, disable, set color, disable hit test, and so on. There are a lot of them, and they look bad according to like styling. You see, we call methods, and then we use layout helpers, and then like it's unreadable. So builder will allow us to do the thing that I'm doing in newer mods. For example, I can show you on the better chat window. So we have a button that creates options window for better chat. And this is going to be look like this. So it's more readable. This is how basically factory works. You apply a method with parameters and then return the object itself. And this is what we are going to do. So first of all, we're going to create a wrapper around our control. Let's call it result. Our control is going to be C. And then going to be set meta table to it. Result and our layout meta table. And then return it. There's nothing special here, we're just making a wrapper around object. And changes to this object would occur after we will call specific methods of meta table. And I'm gonna use link because I don't remember everything. So first thing I need is to assigning new index. It's not allowed in our case because it is not an object, right? So and we not given any permission for it. Maybe we want to have get method to return our control, but I don't know if it's going to be useful, so just return it. I hope my keyboard is not that loud. I'm also interested in does FAF post everything that has no, it's not, or I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna after this maybe edit the stream. So this is our basic stuff, and first I want to add is a hit test. So here's going to be the state, and of course return self afterwards, but for control we're going to apply enable hit test, or as I remember it is hit test, just hit test. Let's see. That's why I've made the after completion stuff. Is hit test disabled? Blah blah blah. Enable hit test, disable. Oh, there is none. Huh. Okay, so we're gonna have to use a if statement here. Unfortunately. So we enable hit test if it's true, and disable it if it's not. Oh, zero hit test, and we don't need this. So first one is done. Let's continue, and this is basically what we are doing today here. What we need next? We need next a update frame. Needs frame update, and here we have this statement, so just copy paste in here, but just gonna pass it here and state I'm gonna copy this. What do we need also is set alpha. Pretty common thing. And we are gonna have alpha here. Return self afterwards. And this. And of course we're gonna remove set alpha because it assumes that we are building it anyway. So I think this is all for now. And the next part is basic layouting. I'm going to use layout helpers here. And first of all, let's assign 6 base controls. Left. Let's call it left. Return self, of course. And right, top, bottom, width and height. And we're going to check all those past values if they are value or functions. If it's value, then we're going to use just assigning basic stuff. Or maybe we're going to set those controls as a row because lazy variables are checking the value we pass in. Self.c dot left set left. So we can pass here a function or a value. Both will be correct. And the same thing we're doing for others. But of course, according to control, we're gonna change here. Just copy pasting. Next step is relative positioning. So this is a raw way we can do this, passing either value or function, but usually we position our control relative to others. And let's see which functions we have in layout helpers. And let's put it right. So, first of all, we have above, but we're gonna add as a first is fill parent. Pretty usual stuff. Because it allows us to fill parents. Very smart. So it sets all top, left, bottom, and right variables to control, to parents. So fill parent, self.c, and parent. So change it now. And others we're gonna do copy pasting, right? Oh, and of course I forgot about first set to width, so we have to check, because if we have a value, we have to scale it accordingly. Okay, we need to do this only for hating this. So I think everything we need I've done. there are also things that have to do later maybe, but most of things we need I have done. They're still a bit longer than expected, but just remove some words to make it shorter, like the under parents and over parents, like just over and under. So yeah, I think this is all. Let's try to apply it. I'm gonna open the dev. Let's try maybe change something here that's to make to change. So local, let's import, as it called here, layout 4, import layouter, layouter.layout and layout 4. Let's skip the cutscene. So what we can change here to make it a bit more readable. For example, this group. We do this layout for group. We set its height to 500. Its width to 500. And let's center in. Oh, it's after completion, gonna mess things, mate. And we can remove this. So, yeah, it's a bit odd, but right, like this, it's more readable, and we can do things like we can put all of this stuff under the hood, so we can basically make this. Yeah, we can make even this, but this is more readable. So the single lines may be not that good, but like this is much better. Let's try it. This is option selector. And I hope I haven't made any typo. Copy pasting is the best way to get typos. So this must be somewhere here, and yeah, something's wrong. Callable. I think it's not called like this. To check if control, or to check if variable is callable. I think it is is callable. Let's Google it. And we can get type, but this is bad. Oh, okay. Yeah, of course it is. It is callable, right? So let's put it. Where was this? It was here. Right. Let's reload. I think we've done, and we can possibly complete everything here. And remove this, remove this stuff, this giant, like, it's barely unreadable. Yes, it works fine. So let's do for other layout helper stuff. So I think here we can do this, why not? Since it is a single line, why not? Stack well over group. Oh wait, we have group over group pop-up. Okay, let's do this then. Or we can make this. Or I don't remember if it takes the height and calculates this. Okay, I just do this then, and we can actually check this out right now and actually remember if it calculates with height on creation. So it must be in controls. Please load, don't die. Controls and pop up. There is none. Maybe dialogues. God, so many of them. Let's check out where it is. Pop up is in pop-ups. I'm blind, basically. Oh, it is here. Okay, let's. Yeah, it calculates the width and height. Wait, we're passing only GUI. Or what we're doing? Wait. Oh no, we pass parent and then group. Okay, we have to do it like this. Unless it's not gonna work, it's gonna cause an error. Or, oh no, we can. Never mind. Or like this. And then we're going to do this thing for title, layout for title, at horizontal center in. Let's just copy paste it and do this and do this thing. And remove all of this. And of course, formatting, what will you do? You will do this. This is kind of bad because formatting tries to make it readable, not for us, of course. So yeah, this is how it looks. And then ends for others. Scroll, we're gonna make layout for it. must be over group 410. And this one, this quit button. You all can read it. I also don't know why I put here a 0 because it is useless here. And column over group, it is 20. I also know where this code is from. It is from images mod, not for mod, from pull request. Oh yeah, this is much readable. Like, compare it. You don't see anywhere layout helpers thing. And there's more. And it's all applied to the line group. Let's make it. So it left in group 5, left of scroll, then at top in and top bottom. Let's just copy this and paste here. Do this and remove this. And we have to do it over group on 10 units. And this is it. Much easier to read. It would be better if it had a like equal length, but we have this. It's better. It's better than before. So we have again tons of code, depth over parent. I know why this dimension is here. It must be here because here we're editing background. Oh, and here we have disable. We can add it there. Oh, I closed it. We can add it here. Why not? I open the game. So let's add function. Layout helper. Let's add enable and disable. As I know, it is usually enabled, so it must be enabled. So if we disable it, and it's called return self. So let's apply it for it. Layout for line. Let's height is 30 and width is 80, and then we have must be over line group by 1, so it is default by 1. We don't need to type it there, and we don't need this anymore. And we can make all those lines to be look like this. So I think after all these examples you got the idea. Type less code and make it readable, but it has a bit of impact on performance because it takes more calls, but since it happens one time on the creation, we don't need to do this multiple times. But Lua is pretty fast anyway. Oh, now we have set color. However, we have some problems here. If we gonna use set color on something that doesn't have it, we will cause error. Okay, let's add it anyway. Color. Color. If programmer is calling a color, is setting a color that something doesn't have to be there, it's gonna cause error. And we have this. So let's layout for line.name. I'm gonna set color for it. I think that this is kind of bad. We call it layout for, since those are properties of control. And my game is spamming stuff in log. I don't want this because it may cause my disk to die. Of course not, it's just gonna print a lot of stuff. And we have this line, nothing, and we can remove this too. Much better. Oh, we have to hit test true, since we want, or wait, or we had there disable hit test. Oh, it shouldn't, then false. And I think I have to drop an error if we pass there nothing, but it will work as disable hit test. Let's check on nil, I think, because if state is nil, then error hit test requires positional argument state. Like this thing, I don't think it's a good idea to apply on render layout 4, so let's continue. And we've got here, we have parents, layout for parent. Why this called parent if parent is passed as parameter, or what happens here? Yeah, it's kind of bad stuff here happening. Anyway, old code just showing how it should work. And we can remove this. And layout for this line must be below what? Below parent and 5. And it's right in why? Yeah. It's right in parent. Yeah, we got it. This is done. Let's try it out. So yeah, we've got no errors and it works. So let's look where we can apply this method to. And we're gonna go to options window. Whoa, we see everywhere is layout helpers. How obvious it is. Here we can make it much shorter, and we have to add fill parent fixed border. I'm gonna add this. Also reset bottom, useful, and other stuff like reset left. Let's see what we got here. We have a height setting to some change value. Here we have setting a functions and height setting to splitter, and so on, of course. In some cases it's not applicable, for sure. And this is the... So here, and yeah, a lot of stuff we can deal with. Set width, set value, what is this? Oh, it works as slider, okay. But anyway, let's take a look at other UI mods. For example, Team Info Share. It uses, for example, here we have visibility test, a drop down shadow. Oh, it is for text. You can add it too. fact, it is mostly about styling, but it's gonna save us much more time. So, and we can take a look here. We've got a lot of stuff here too. What functions we have to add to show backgrounds. This is for edit, control, see depth. We can all of this stuff apply within construction, so we can layout for blah 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 and then do a get, so it can be much shorter. Where we have construction of layout, we have it here, we have it here, here. This is only better chat window. We have lines also here. You see fill parent, set alpha, blah blah blah. Max manager, in max panel we have layout, we have layouting here as well. So okay, for today we're done with. It's past an hour of our coding trip, how can I call it? We've done pretty decent thing. Of course we have to add more from layout helpers and methods of controls, which are listed here, but most of them we've got. We can set a debug name, we can, live function is not that we need. Destroy is one-time thing that we won't apply, I think. We can set some overloaded versions of methods, for example in frame. We can pass it as a anonymous function, and other stuff we can see it, for example engine user bitmaps. We can set some stuff for working with frames, working with textures. We can set up stuff for edit, can acquire focus for it, enable inputs, so on. You see getters, and there must be setters. Yeah, set card position, maximum charge, background color. We have group, almost empty. It's basically the same as control. Let's call it a group. Text has its own methods. We have a movie that I haven't seen, haven't even worked with it. Maybe later I will do something with it. Where is buttons? Oh, buttons is not a great one. here we have some methods for user controls, like a button. We have set textures, apply textures. We can overload handle events, one click, or we can't overload handle event because it is logical button. Edit, you see the amount of engine methods and some user ones, set font, set foreground color, background, set carrots, and so on, a lot of setters that we can add to layout stuff. But of course we assume that we're working with the layouting, not styling. So maybe later I will rename it somehow. But right now it is simplifying the way we can lay out our controls like this. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope this was a bit enjoying and interesting. See you next time.